Every city has a place that people try not to talk about. Not because something big happened there, but because those who saw it no longer want to remember. In our city, such a place was a house on the outskirts. A house in which the mirrors stopped reflecting reality. I went there during the day. The house looked empty. Ordinary dust, old furniture, cracked walls, but I didn't notice anything strange right away. So for me to approach the mirror in the hallway, I looked into it and realized something was wrong. The reflection was lagging. Justito. I raised my hand, and only a moment later, the reflection repeated the movement. My heart sank. I took a step back. The reflection, it continued to stand closer to the mirror than I did. I realized the most important thing. The mirror wasn't looking at me. It was looking through me, as if I were glass and someone else was standing on the other side. At that moment, I heard a sound. Not a voice, not footsteps. A light exhalation right behind me. Later I learned, this house had claimed people before. Teenagers disappeared here in the 90s. Without a scream, without a trace. They simply walked out of the house and were never reflected anywhere. Not in mirrors, not in photographs. I approached the mirror again and saw myself, but now the reflection didn't follow my movements at all. It simply stared, and then it slowly smiled. I turned around. There was no one behind me. But when I looked in the mirror again, the reflection took a step forward. Don't stare too long. They're waiting. After that night, I no longer looked in mirrors. I covered them with cloth. I turned them away. I walked past without looking up. But that wasn't the scariest part. The scariest part was that he still felt that someone was looking at me instead of them. Not from the room, from inside. Sometimes I caught myself thinking that I was not moving first. I'd raise my hand, and it felt like a repeat, not the beginning. As if someone had already done it for me, and I was simply catching up. I started searching for information. Old newspapers, archives, people who still remembered. All the disappearances had one thing in common. They happened near mirrors, at Olme, at school, in fitting rooms. People disappeared, but they continued to be seen reflected in their reflections. One woman agreed to talk. She lived across the street from the house. Said, sometimes at night you can see people in the windows. They stand motionless and who's watch. I asked her why she didn't call the police. She replied, because during the day those windows are empty. Among the missing was a name that kept coming up too often. Martin. A teenager. The 90s. His mother insisted he hadn't disappeared because she sometimes sees him in the hallway mirror. He doesn't move. He doesn't speak. But each time, he gets a little closer. The more I learned, the more I realized. Summer people came back, but something was wrong. They avoided mirrors. They didn't look in windows. And sometimes, they forgot their own names. It was as if someone else was remembering them. I found an old videotape in the house. It showed a boy. He looked into the camera and sighed. If you see this, then you're already too close. It fell silent. Hello, kid. How I unhave it. They're learning to be. I woke up in the night to a sound. Not footsteps, not breathing. The sound of glass. I walked up to the mirror, which I had covered with a cloth. The cloth lay on the floor, and in the mirror was me. But I smelled it before. I felt Italiano, and then I understood. They don't come out right away. Fierce. If your reflection gets to live before you, then you're already too late.